dear students. In this lecture, we will study about the life processes. Okay, in our surroundings, in our environment, usually the matter we see or the component we see around us are categorized into two types. The one is biotic component and another one is abiotic component. Okay, biotic components are those which are showing the existence of life, which are alive, are known as biotic components. In that we can give some examples such as plant, it may be animals and other living organisms in biotic components. And in abiotic components, those are the components which are not having the existence of life, which do not show any kind of living activities. So that components are known as abiotic components. For that we can give the examples of stone, soil and other non-living things we see around us. So in the life process, here the first we will discuss about the definition of life process. So the processes that are necessary for an organism to stay alive are known as life processes. The life processes, these are the processes which are important for an organism to stay alive. Some life processes example I will give, such as respiration. It may be, without the respiration no one can survive. Even the human beings, it may be the animals or plants also. Plants also perform the respiration, but they are taking carbon dioxide inside and releasing the oxygen to the environment. So respiration it may be. And one more they have given is nutrition. So everyone needs a nutrition so that they can stay alive. Okay, human beings it may be and the animals it may be. Some other examples of life processes we will give, such as digestion and movement, growth, etc. These are the examples of life processes, and the life process is very important to stay alive. And the next comes criteria of life. On what basis we can say that the organism is alive? The organism is alive. On what basis we will say? Here are two criteria of life. The first one is growth. By observing the growth of the organism, we can say that the organism is alive. It is performing some kind of growth. It is growing day by day, or it may be the month by month, the year by year. And one more criteria is movement. The living organisms are showing some kind of movement. As we human beings are going from one place to another, for our food it may be, for the shelter it may be, for the mate it may be. And the organisms such as animals such as dog, cat, rat, etc. they are also moving from one place to another for their survival, for their food, and also for some other purposes in this way. But the plants, they do not show the movement. There the criteria of life is growth. On the basis of growth we can say that the plant is alive, but it is not showing the movement. Okay, that the plant is a stationary. It is at the same position only throughout its lifespan. And then comes nutrition. So definition for nutrition is, it is a process by which an organism obtains its food and utilize it to body. That process is known as nutrition. We all are very essential of nutrition. We have to obtain the food and we have to utilize it to within the body. We can't say that all the food we eat can be utilized by our body. No, not like that. Some of the food is utilized by the body and some of the food is released by the process of excretion. Okay, and here in the nutrition, two types of nutrition is there. So before going to the types of nutrition, in the nutrition we have discussed the definition, why the nutrition is important, why the nutrition is necessary. That the nutrition is necessary to get the energy. So we have to obtain the food and we have to utilize it to body so that we can get the energy. And nutrition is also essential for the growth and also for the maintenance in the sense to growing our body perfectly and in the proper manner. And also it is important for the growth, maintenance and repair. Repair in the sense, during the cuts and tears, during accidents or during any incidents, we may have some wounds on our body. So that we can recover, that wound can be recovered, we need the nutrition. In this way, nutrient is very essential for the growth, maintenance and repair. These are the three essential sub parts of nutrition. Then the types of nutrition. In this one, we can learn two types of nutrition. The first one is autotrophic nutrition and the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. This one you have already learnt in the 8th standard, 7th standard also. The autotrophic nutrition means the organism which can prepare their own food, they are comes under the group of autotrophic nutrition. Okay, autotrophic means the word itself, that autotrophic itself indicating that self nutrition. Auto means self, trophic means nourishment. It is nourishment, taking, it is preparing its own food. Autotrophic nutrition, the examples of autotrophic nutrition we can give the plant and some green algae. These can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Autotrophic nutrition, it is a process in which the organism can prepare its own food. Okay, and here comes by which process the autotrophs are preparing their own food, and why the heterotrophic organisms are, heterotrophic nutrient organisms are not able to prepare their own food. Here the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means it is a kind of nutrition in which organism is not able to prepare its own food and it is dependent on other organism for their food, are known as heterotrophic nutrition. For this we can give the examples of human being, animals. And then autotrophic nutrition, the autotrophs, how they are preparing their own food. They are preparing their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Here this term photo means it is sunlight and synthesis means preparation. So the green plants are capable to prepare their own food with the help of sunlight and in the presence of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is very essential. Chlorophyll, it is a green pigment present in the leaf which captures, which traps the sunlight. So photosynthesis, it is a process by which green plants use sunlight and carbon dioxide to produce the nutrients such as glucose it may be. Okay, along with the glucose it is releasing the oxygen as well. Here we have the chemical equation for the photosynthesis process. The carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. The water is also essential. Here it is taking place in the presence of sunlight and it is taking place in the chlorophyll of the plant that is present in the leaf. That green colored pigment is known as chlorophyll. It is the food factory of the plant. The food is prepared in that particular part of the plant and glucose is reduced. Glucose is produced as the process of photosynthesis, that is C6H12O6. This is the chemical formula for glucose. Along with that, oxygen is released in the environment. So in this process we can say that during the photosynthesis process, carbon dioxide is essential, light is essential, chlorophyll is essential, water is essential, and carbon dioxide is taken by the plants and oxygen is released. It is a product of photosynthesis. We can say that glucose and oxygen, these are the two products of photosynthesis process. The next one comes raw materials required for the photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is taking place, but what are the raw materials which are very essential for the photosynthesis process? Without these raw materials, the plants are unable to prepare their food. In that one, the first comes carbon dioxide, that is available in the environment. By using that carbon dioxide, green plants are preparing their own food which are growing on the earth. But some plants are there which are present in the water too. Okay, that plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide dissolved in the water. Okay, and then water. This is also one raw material used for photosynthesis. The roots of the plants are absorbing the water from the soil, and then comes sunlight. It is also very essential for the photosynthesis, and the chlorophyll is trapping the sunlight for the photosynthesis process, and then chlorophyll that is present in the green leaves of the plant. These are the four raw materials which are required for the photosynthesis. In the examination, if the question is asked, either it will be what is the definition for photosynthesis, what is the equation for photosynthesis, or else they will ask the question like what are the raw materials required for the photosynthesis. These points you should be remember. And then the steps carried out, the steps involved in the process of photosynthesis process. The first step is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. This is the first step carried out in the photosynthesis process, absorption of light energy. And then the second step is conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Once the energy is trapped by chlorophyll, that light energy should be converted into chemical energy, so that this carbon dioxide can be converted into glucose. Third step is that one only, that carbon dioxide is converted into glucose, that is carbohydrate. That carbohydrate is nothing but the glucose only. Here you should remember that carbohydrate and hydrocarbons, these are the two carbon compounds. In the carbohydrate, what happens? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is present. Here you can see carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. That glucose is also known as carbohydrate because it is having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And then comes hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, these are the chemical compounds which are only having carbon and hydrogen. Just the difference is carbohydrates are having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrocarbons are having hydrogen and carbon. So